So really the important role of the ninth Earl of Delaware was as a leader and a champion. He can, in the nicest possible way, knock heads together, but he could get people organised and actually get them to see through the project. I mean, it's a small miracle that a pavilion was built of any description because it'd been so difficult to deliver this project. So it really is a huge achievement that we get a significant architectural building as well. The Earl clearly wanted a modern style building. He wanted something new. So in some ways you can say, well, he's a little bit like his dad, the 8th Earl of Delaware. Probably not quite so keen on motor racing, probably not quite so keen on actresses. I wouldn't like to speculate too much further. But he gets the pavilion project up and running, and he realises that it needs to be something distinctly different from what's going on in other seaside towns. So he wants something iconic, and I think it's fair to say he achieves that. So they started off with a competition in 1933, and just about every architectural practice in the country puts in a scheme. I think what the Earl is wanting to do is open it up. He just didn't want to go to the nearest local architect, is what they tended to do before, and get something local and parochial. He wanted to open it up and take advantage of national, indeed international talent. The submission by Mendelssohn and Chimaev was considered to be very much better than all the other entrants, and there's a lovely comment in the papers later on saying that it was obvious who they were going to choose, because this proposal really captured the essence of international modernism. There wasn't sort of applied architectural detail. They weren't trying to be clever. It was a very pure design.
Well, it's a funny pairing, really, Mendelssohn and Chimaev, because Chimaev was Russian or Chechnyan, Mendelssohn was German. When Mendelssohn arrived here in March, maybe, 33, the competition appeared in the press, I think a month or two later. He had to get plans out very quickly. So what he did was he took a section of a previous design and building that he'd done in Berlin. This complex that he'd built in Berlin was a cinema and a housing block that stuck on the back of the cinema. And I think it's still there, the cinema's certainly still there. And he took a section of this, and that section that he took became the plan of the Delaware Pavilion. And Chimaev, strictly speaking, wasn't an architect. Strictly speaking, Chimaev was an interior designer. He'd worked for Waring and Gillow, furniture makers. And he'd done some of the interiors on the BBC building in Portland Place, which was finished in 1932. He would be the one who would get the commissions. He would go out and get the commissions.
The Delaware Pavilion building was actually constructed during the course of 1935. The site was prepared late 1934 and the footings put in, but the steel frame went in just at the start of 1935.
What we have here is the first major steel welded frame ever built in this country. And the magazine, I know it sounds a bit like the guest publication on Have I Got News for You, but the magazine The Welder published 2 issues on this because it was such an important innovation. But the building was put up very, very quickly. Amazing, really, that it was done in about 11 months, 11 and a half months. One thing that is worth mentioning is this ceiling, which is a suspended ceiling. What an innovation. And these concave shapes, which are made out of almost like that sort of plaster you use on bandages that you mend breaks with nowadays. It's plaster impregnated gauze, and they were moulded. And this is the acoustic system in here is Chimaev, probably from his knowledge of acoustics, such as it was from when he did the BBC buildings. But this suspended ceiling, once you go above this and you can see the steel frame above this, is a remarkable feat of engineering. It is undoubtedly the best example of a modernist public building in this country, and arguably anywhere.
But they get the main building up and running for the grand opening on the 12th of December, and they have the Duke and Duchess of York down to conduct the official ceremony. So it's a huge event in the town. The building is packed out. There are crowds of people all around the building watch the Duke and Duchess arrive and then leave. So it's a huge event and a very impressive occasion.